Was it yesterday? Tuesday.
Yeah. Was it yesterday? What day is it?
Latanya, how do we say your name properly? Is it Dutch or is it more like English style? How do we say it?
I think it's more in English style because a lot of people that listen to my music and get to know me speak English, so I'm okay with just Latanya Alberto.
Fans.
Yeah.
So basically, I discovered you last year through Leroy, my friend Leroy. He was the first one who sent me a song of yours that he engineered. In less than a year's time, you are now popping off slowly.
Yeah, I just started and then I just kept going. I had no idea whatsoever what to do, who to meet, and other things, but yeah, I just went.
Because I actually can't really pinpoint your process because I don't know how long you had already been making music for by the time I discovered you last year. But what I do see is certain friends of ours like Fulcray and people just like very key and respected people in the industry now becoming aware of your existence and your artistry. Yeah. But I want to know, where have you been all this time and what have you been doing and how did these people find out about you?
Like way back, I was always singing and performing, so music was also always something that I knew I would do. And when I started releasing the music and putting myself out there, I really think it was a network kind of thing because at first I didn't really know that much people in the scene. I just went to these events and I knew certain people that knew other people because I released a little bit more and certain platforms were sharing me or maybe people were talking that my music landed in these people's hands. But with Fulcray, for example, I know we had a mutual friend sort of, but we never met. And then at one point, we just got together. So.
And obviously the song that you did with him and Amir, by the way, big look, is called Getaway.
Yes.
Did that have an impact? Would you say that song kind of had a little bit of gave you another push to a newer audience? Because I can imagine having Fulcray, who's very he's niche, but he's international. He's got like a niche international fan base. And then there's Amir, who's also been around for a minute, is also still niche, but has a very industry following, like people who know their music.
Definitely. Also landed in my audience. So that was really nice. Of course, a bigger audience because not a lot of people knew me before the song.
It's also a really nice song. It's like an ideal summer song. It's so lovey-dovey, light. It's a happy song. Actually, a lot of your songs discuss the topic of love. Is there a certain someone you think of when you write these songs, or is it different people you think of, or is it nobody?
There's not one person. But I think if I look back, it's always based on a situation, but I always write it not completely based on my own situation, but also something that I hear or something that I know happens. Because I always try to give a certain message through the song as well. And sometimes that's more than my own experiences. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, but not one particular person.
So you've never put out a song and someone messaged you being like, is that on?
Oh my God, no, but I feel like it's gonna happen one day.
I can't wait for that to happen. When that happens, you have to let me know.
I'll let you know, definitely.
You're obviously based in the Netherlands and I'm here in the UK, and lockdown here is a lot stricter and a lot more crazy. Like the only type of dates we are now slowly going on are like 2-meter distance walks down the canal. And that's like the only human interaction we can have. But in the Netherlands, your prime minister told the whole country, if you're single, find a sex buddy.
Yeah.
And that's which I think is great, by the way.
Yeah.
What's been life in lockdown like for you? Have you been seeing your friends? Have you had a date? Are you talking to somebody? Like, what's it like for a single girl in the Netherlands in lockdown? Well, in no lockdown. You don't even have a real lockdown.
Yeah, we don't really have a lockdown. But at first, I felt like everyone was outside, but I was just chilling at home and I was obeying the rules. But it felt like everyone was outside. Every time I went outside, it was busy. So I was like, okay, this is what y'all doing.
Everyone's Insta story looked like a party. It was crazy.
Yeah. And then I saw just a couple of friends of mine, a small group. I like to be at home and I like to be in my own kind of sanctuary. So I was comfortable with the situation. But I have to say, like the dating life, I was kind of worried, like where I'm gonna meet people walking in the park. You gotta wave at each other because you know, it's just not working. And you can go on walks. I went on a date, but it's just
No. No.
No, I don't like it.
Are you now realizing that not a lot of guys can hold your attention if there's not distracting factors?
Oh, that's a good one. But
you know why I'm saying this? I went on like a date in the park, like literally just a blanket, some fruit and a drink.
Yeah.
And normally, you know, you're going to a concert or a film or a club and there's all these things happening. We lasted 8 hours and it didn't feel like that long.
Well, that's really nice. But then you have a good one. Usually when people ask me certain questions or we're just talking about certain subjects, I'm not giving you a one sentence answer. I always have an opinion about something.
That's
and
good.
Everything is thought through. So when you're on a walk in this situation in the lockdown, it goes deeper, faster. So you get into a deep conversation, and then you can see in the other person, like, is this person really like also into it?
If you can't stimulate someone's brain right now, you're going to have to work on your game.
That's also a big factor in my dating life. Like, I'm always looking for that in someone else too, because I find it very important. Usually it's a little bit disguised by everything that's happening around you and certain factors. And now it's just stripped down. So I know directly, no, yes.
Who are some of your celebrity crushes?
Ooh, I've never thought about it. I don't even know.
Latanya, what the hell? Yes, you do. You're lying.
I don't know.
You don't find any people we know from the TV sexy?
I really don't know.
You are a liar. I have never met a bigger liar than you in my life. Okay, so if you don't know who you fancy, who is someone that you'd dream to make music with?
Okay, so I really want to work with Robert Glasper, Terrence Martin.
You should have told me that before I met Robert Glasper.
I recently, like 2 days ago, I told my mom, like, okay, I'm just putting it out there in the universe. If there's one person I really, really, really would like to work with, that's him.
We're manifesting.
We're manifesting, definitely.
Robert Glasper, Latanya Alberto, it will happen. Who is someone that you've been listening to on repeat lately?
Sure. Alex Isley.
Love Alex Isley, yeah.
Her voice is crazy. Mac Iris, Cleo Soul.
She's crazy.
The jazz in her music is... Pip Millet, when someone releases a project or an album, it's hard to love every song. Mm-hmm. But with hers, I feel like I could listen to it and don't skip a song. So
that's important.
That's very important, yeah.
What's something that I can expect you to listen to when you're out in the club and you want to wild out?
The perfect combination would be old school hip hop, a little bit of R&B, and Afro.
So you can dance all night. Where do you want this music thing to go? Like, what does success look like for you?
For me, it would mean to create an audience which knows me, knows my music, and is really into it. And it doesn't even have to be like a crazy amount of people, like the whole world, but just my group of people that really know my music, and I get the opportunity to get on a level where I can work with everyone I want to work with internationally, and learning new things from other people, get on stages, and this is got to be the job, and I don't have to worry about, okay, this is like halfway, I also got to make money besides it, but just music completely, and having the freedom to do and make whatever I want to.
What do you think makes you memorable? Why do you think people like you? What is it about you?
I think it's the lyrics / message I'm sending through the music and the aesthetic that comes with it. So I really try to give people an experience. It goes so much further than only the things you hear or only the things you see. Blending everything together and trying to give people something new. And also in music, like not limiting myself within one genre, but taking something from everything I like.
I feel like your style is very your aesthetic is very like romantic. Little things like the way you manage your social media, it all makes sense. Very on brand. Like when I see you, I just think, warm, springtime, fuzzy.
Yeah.
For a good first date. That's what it is. That's
Ooh,
how I would describe yours. Okay, Latanya Alberto reminds me of a great first date.
Ooh, that's a
when
good
you get
one.
like
I
butterflies,
like
but you don't know everything yet, and you're kind of like in suspense of what's next.
Mm-hmm.
What a great description. I'm sorry.
That's a great description. I mean, I gotta write this down.
You're welcome. You know what I was gonna ask you though? I feel like you're very, very well put together. Like you seem like you always look good. You always speak very proper. You don't really look like you've ever been a mess in your life.
Ooh.
But if I were to ask some of your best friends what the most annoying thing is that you do, what would they say?
If you would ask my sister, she would probably say that I'm impatient. I've learned to deal with it sometimes, but then the inside of me is just screaming and I'm like, but like, for example, when I think of something I want to do, then I want to do it right away, and it just gotta happen at that moment, but it's sometimes just not possible. So that can be very annoying for other people.
Do you ever get mad? Like, you just don't seem like someone who gets angry ever.
I do. I used to get mad a lot more. Now I'm just, when I get mad, I think about, okay, how I'm gonna respond, how I'm feeling about this, and I usually just go away or back into myself for a minute and then just leave the situation. I always think about what I do and say very, very much before. But, you know,
well, girl, I wish I was more like you, because I'm definitely not. On a night out, what's your poison of choice? If we're out, what are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm always drinking red wine.
In the club?
In the club. You see me walking with a glass of wine
so
everywhere.
Fancy. You are look at you, this is what I mean. You're so classy all the time.
But this is something I thought about it, like when I'm walking around with my glass of wine, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going into my character a little bit too much, but it's really like what I like. I really like to just drink wine. Red wine is just my choice, but I also like vodka lime as well.
Oh, wild. You're crazy. She going crazy now.
I think I've had a hangover once in my life. Like one time when I was very young.
Where have you been your whole life?
But I always, when I'm drinking, I know where my boundaries are, and I never go over, because I just hate that feeling of feeling badly the next day or even on the ride home. So I'm always respecting my own boundaries.
Must be so nice to be like you. Wow. We need artists like yourself. We can't all have crazy people running around being like the wild artist, because that would be boring also. We need someone that gives us an idea of what is also possible in life, what is achievable. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to try to be more like you. Drink red wine in the club.
Yes.
Have you seen my IG lives? I even go wild in my own living room.
Oh my God, but I enjoy it so badly. I'm like, yes. But you're also drinking wine then?
I drink, that's because I drink Hennessy, wine, rum. You know why? It's because my bed is right there. So I feel so safe.
Too safe.
Too safe. And then the next day I wake up, I look at my phone. I'm like, oh my God, who did I FaceTime at 4 a.m.?
Oh my God.
I have been wild. I'm just having a great time, you know, and I say I do it for the people. I don't do it for me. What is a thing that you wish we had more of in the Netherlands?
I think in music, the music that is really popular here is like the mainstream music is the Dutch. I don't really know what the genre is called, but there's a certain group of people that like own the mainstream music here, and everyone is listening to it, and there's not that much space for the other genres. Like it's there, but like in my kind of music, we always go abroad looking for the confirmation and for other people loving that as well. So I would say, maybe more opportunities and respect for the other genres as well, and not only
diversity.
Yeah, definitely.
What can we expect from you in the next 12 months? What are we going to see from you, hear from you?
Well, I'm working on something new, on a new project, and I'm so excited about it. It's bigger, and I'm working with different people on making it more of a soul jazz influenced kind of thing. It's gonna be so great. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share. I will be sharing like bits and pieces and then the project. But at the beginning of the whole coronavirus thing, and everyone was like, okay, 2020 is cancelled, and I was like, but I still got things to share. So I got happy news as well.
I think, you know what, people will probably need it more than ever. It's so funny because the first industry that took the biggest hit is the arts industry. But at the same time, it's the art industry keeping everybody sane. The people who are literally being hurt the most are the ones that are keeping everyone together right now.
Yeah, definitely. I've spoken to about that with my friends, and it's really crazy.
That's why we need you to never stop making music.
Yes. I'll promise here. Yeah,
exactly. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
From a year from now, you're going to be on everybody's radio show, and then I'm going to get really jealous. So at least I'm like...
You got the footage now, like, I was here first.
I was here first, and I'm going to get serenaded in Paradiso while you're singing and Robert Glasper is on the keys.
Ugh, damn, yes. That's the situation.
This is, everything's on camera, everything's on audio. We're manifesting. We expect no less. Bye.
Bye.